So I've heard it been said that the X has something to do with Osiris or something, but talking to our big contributor today, he was like Xbox, um, and I was talking about Madam X, Madonna's name, and I'm going to show y'all something that's pretty freaky. I want to go back in time to some old videos that I did where I showed y'all a friend of mine. I've got two different friends, okay? And they made an X across each other. And those two friends, one was born, I call her my Mayday friend. She was born May 1st, 1985. And on January 12th of 2022, she crisscrossed another friend of mine where the amount of days apart they are from me was the amount of days old the other one was. So that might sound confusing, but my birthday is July 6th. I might as well show you. Might as well. So the 319 person of 1998. Now this person has 138, 88, 86 all in their number. I've shown her to you many times, 3 times 19 times 1998. She's got the 138, the 88, and the 86ing of him. Also, One World Trade Tower rose and was presented on November 3rd. So she's got the death and rising all in them, all in her number. Her birthday is 319, and that is a gigantic time frame because of I have him going down on 318 and rising on the first day of spring, 320, as one of my very high watch days. This event is going to be related somehow, some way to sun, moon, stars, seasons. Remember, their Bohemian Grove event is a midsummer ritual where they have the owl and, Bohemian Grove, all that stuff, because it's midsummer. So whether it's summer solstice, winter solstice, spring equinox, what have you, him dying in the winter and rising in the spring is ridiculously high. And other than 2 days before a full moon, and then him rising up through the full moon, which is what they showed us in I Pet Goat. Now, he could go down 18th, rise on the 20th, and then come up. Is my volume low? And then come up through that full moon. Yep, let me turn it up. And then come up through that full moon, lunar eclipse, March 25th. All type of spiritual shenanigans and rising and so on and so forth. Nobody's ever going to know it and see it. It's all just something in their esoteric world and all about his possession by Satan. He'll be possessed by Satan. Satan will be indwelt in his body 2 days after the right eye wound event. It won't really be him that gets the right eye wound, but then they will go through the possession ritual or he'll be possessed. And so there you see that she is 13405 days apart from me, this March 19th, 1998 person. And then I will show you that my 1985 friend, born on May Day, so we track her also, because May Day is a gigantic day. She is 8,700 exact days apart from me. She turned exactly 14,000 days old on the blue moon. She is definitely somebody to track. Remember, On March 11th, 2022, just a few months later after this crisscross, on March 11th, she turned the first 5 digits of Trump and I's combined number days old. And 33 days later, I turned the next 5 digits of Trump and I's combined number days old. And 33 days after that was a total lunar eclipse. Don't forget that that falls on the on the X across America total solar, that anomaly, April 8th. The next one is March 6th, which it'll be a high watch day. That's the 22nd 33 progression. The 23rd 33 progression does fall on the X across America, which I want to now get into that. Now, my Mayday friend and I, this is very important, very important, very important. Her number, May times 1st times 1985, her number is 9925, times it by me, 7 times 6 times 1961. Our combined number begins with 817. And we have been looking strongly 2 days before the 8/19 full moon, haven't we? But check this out. This is going to absolutely just blow your mind. So we now look at my Mayday friend to January 12th, 2022. You see that she is, me and her are 8,700 days apart, but notice she is 13405 days old on that day. Now cut to my friend born 3/19/1998, who has the 138 and all that in her number. She and I are 13405 days apart, yet she turned 8,700 days old on January 12th. So the amount of days apart I was from each of these two ladies, they turned the amount of days old as the other person, as the other lady. I don't know any other way to explain it other than that. And I look at one of them to that date where she turned 8,700 days old on January 12th, and you look at percent of a common year, it's 2383, which is murder. It's a double murder code. Look at the hours, 2088 in the hours old on that day. The other on that date, 36 years, 8 months, 11 days. 36, of course, is the triangular number for 666. Where you add 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 all the way plus 35 plus 36, your sum is 666. But anyway, that's a crisscross day. Okay, those two made an X across each other. The amount, along with me, the amount of days apart they are from me, the other was that many days old. Okay, these two ladies. This anomaly occurred on January 12th, 2022, 2 days after the transfer portal of time that we discovered. January 10th, which our contributor told me today, was also a national championship game that day. But let's get back to January 12th, 2 days after the transfer portal, when these two ladies crisscrossed, or I always called it that they crisscrossed, or they formed an X. We're now going to run that to the X across America total solar eclipse, and it's 817 days. The first 3 digits of one of them and I's combined number. That's fascinating. There's that 817. That is just absolutely mind-blowing to me. And if you run it to the eve of it, the eve of the eclipse, It's 8/16. Now I want to look at something else. Madonna's birthday. Madonna's
August 16th, 1958.
Madonna's
According to Wikipedia, Madonna Louise
Thank you.
Ciccone, born August 16th,
Thank you.
1958, is an American
Singer, songwriter, and actress. Thank you. So her birthday is 8/16. Now she is Madam X, isn't she? And the Madam X, like Xbox and X-Men and all this kind of stuff, is all about this X across America and always has been. And that is that 8/16, Madonna's birthday, is actually the eve of the X across America. And Madonna, of course, is Madonna, Madam X. And so there's all these images of Madam X, Madonna. And she's got this left eye patch. Not right eye, but left eye. Okay. Whatever. Let's run Madonna's birthday of 1958. Did I already do this? Yes. So Madonna will be 23977 days old on the X across America. Madam X will be. What is Madonna's number? Well, it's 8 times 16 times 1958. Let's times that by 23977. That's how many days old she'll be. Single digit followed by a 0. So I do multiply by God, which has given me a lot of amazing personal ciphers before. So I definitely buy into that. I want to look at another anomaly with Madonna real quick. And these things go on with Trump, and it's about to happen with Trump. A palindrome. A word or a phrase or sequence that reads the same backwards as forwards. Trump is going to have a numerical palindrome on the 27th, which if he goes down on the 27th, he would rise on leap day. And his palindrome goes like this. He's going to be 28382 days old. 28382 in both directions. On 227. And we showed you the the Batman card tag. That had let me find it for you. This is Bruce Wayne's super fast car tag, and it's got the 227 on his car tag. And it's in blood red. If he goes down on 227, he's rising on leap day. And Trump has a palindrome on that day. It's 2s on each side. The 2 surround a double murder code of 83 and 38. And we've done this 1,000 times, but if you're watching this channel for the first time, murder, gematria calculator, mutter. Great. Looking at it, I'm like, where's 83 in the E? Oh, because you didn't spell murder, goofball. 83 in reverse ordinal, 38 in reverse full reduction. Now, you see in the Jewish gematria, murder is 399. He turns 28, 399 on the Ides of March, which is the next extremely high watch date. But that palindrome is nuts. Look at the hours. It does it to the hours, these palindromes. He's 681168. So Madonna's got a palindrome, which is what was leading me up to all this. Madonna's palindrome is where she's going to be 23923. 23923. Oh, she already was. Is that right? No, 23932. I'm sorry, which is tomorrow. I knew it. I knew it hadn't already occurred. Madonna's palindrome, Madam X, X across America, her palindrome is tomorrow on 223. So that's a big deal. I think Trump is speaking two places tomorrow. He's speaking on the 24th, our friend said. But he's also speaking tonight. And tonight is 2 days before a full moon. And it's also day 222 for Genesis 222, which is a Bible verse. It's one of their favorite Bible verses. Oh, no, no, no. I'm sorry. 322 is one of their favorite Bible verses. And that's a big day, of course, March 22nd. And it's in the heart of Trump and I's combined number, 322. What was it? What else was it? Let's run Madonna's palindrome to the X across America since she's Madam X. It's 45 days, Trump's number. It's also 1 month, 16 days, which is the upside down, backwards 9/11. So 223 has to be looked at greatly. I mean, greatly. Did I say greatly? Yeah, I really meant greatly. 223 has to be looked at. We remember the 23 that was posted for us in the iPet Goat video. So right after Obama's looking at the flower full moon, there's the 23. It says Psalm 23. I think some people have said, I don't know, that Trump's name was in here somehow. I don't know enough about it to see it or understand it, but there's the Psalm 23, critical, the P and the S and the A and the L and the M and the 23. So they're definitely coding for you the number 23. If you can find a 2 to make it a 223, well, then you surely have something, don't you? You would have tomorrow's date. But that's a big deal right there. So there's a lot of big deals we're looking at. The X across America, I will tell you that Trump is going to be at a golf tournament, our contributor said. And don't forget that my friend, born March 19th, 1998, that has where she and I are 1, 3, 405 days apart. Well, that's April 5th when he's going to be at this golf tournament. And if you combine both our birthdays, it becomes 13406. Well, 34 is murder. And Trump and I's combined number, remember Trump's number is 163464 because he's 6 times 14 times 1946 times my number. It has the 322 in the middle of it. It has the 1968 double FAKE assassination of MLK JFK year. But it begins with this 134.6. And remember, my Mayday friend turned 13463 days old on March 11th, 2022. 33 days later, I turned that many days old. 22196. And 33 days after that was a total lunar eclipse. So we tracked that. So if Trump goes down on April 6th, where he's going to be at this live golf tournament, if that's when he's going to go down, and I have a palindrome on the X across America. On 4/8, I'm 22922 days old. And the 22nd prime number is 79. 79 is murder in simple gematria. I'm also 753 months old, and we know about the 753, the clock ticking, which represents time. My time is 753. $7:53 on the clocks. Back to the Future was actually 8:18 a.m. I can't remember. It was 25 minutes. In 25 minutes, is 78 minus 60. Yeah, it was 8/18. That's my mom's birthday. So it's yeah, that's just weird. And so where were we? Hang on, I lost my spot. My palindrome. So if he goes down on 4/6, I am exactly 753 months. I'm 22,920 days. And you remember the mathematical anomaly of my gateway arch friend, born 10/28, 1973. How she and I have an anomaly. And we know about the channel, the YouTube channel, Front Row Info, that's always telling us about the gateway arch 10/28. Well, her birthday, she turned 50. Remember, transfer portals over to March 25th, which is the other gateway arch date. We've shown you that many times. And the 3 and the 25 March 25th. I've explained how this works. It only works for this 25-day interval, where through the portal, November 21st is day 325 of the year. October 28th is day 301 of the year. These are when it's not leap years. And March 1st is also a way to write 301. And of course, March 25th is how to write 325. And these all transfer portal over to each other. April 28th will transfer. Remember, the transfer portal of time is January 10th for Janus Tenet. Janus, the month that sees backwards and forwards. Tenet is 10. backwards and forwards. And in 2022, that month was an exact overlay of the Donnie Darko month, October of 1988. I'm running out of time. I've got a 12:45 appointment. It is 12:14, which is the midpoint of the X across America total solar, which was also a total solar. And they gave you something that day, didn't they? Anyway, her birthday comes to 5, 244, 10 times 28 times 1973, and mine is 82362, 7 times 6 times 1961. Our combined number begins with 45, which is Trump's number, followed by 500, which is Antichrist in Strong's Concordance. So the first 5 digits of she and I's combined number is Trump Antichrist. And we have this mathematical anomaly. And I'll tell you something else about our combined number, 455,000,6328. When you times it by Trump's birth year, you have 88 bookends on each side. Yeah. So that tells you, and we have a mathematical anomaly where every 16 years the numbers change, but inside the 16 years is a rotating number. Like at 2005, 2006, it was the end of the 16 years where we were rotating 626, 126. Well, you go back to 1946, we were rotating 623, 123, and there's the 123. This goes on to infinity. And then starting in 2007, it switched to 627, 127. And it's always dead center. And then in 2023, it rolled to 628, 128. Well, look at today's year. 2024, it begins with 920. And I will be 920. What did we say? On April 6th. And then he, on the day of the total solar eclipse, I turn into a palindrome. Now, it gets better. On 10/21, which is 121, drop the 0. On Alec Baldwin Day, on 10/21/2021, I had a palindrome, 22/0/22. I know. And look at the weeks, 3/1/46. There's that April 6 code again, or 4/6 code. Something either in my personal life or the Trump event is going to take place between now and April 8th. Remember the double midpoint and Sirius, the dog star rising, and a double midpoint of 2 total solar and 2 total lunar eclipses, and Sirius, the dog star rising, all it took place on August 12th, 2022, again with this 2022 year. We were the only ones reporting that it was a double midpoint of 2 total solar and 2 total lunar eclipses, 88 in both direction on the lunar eclipses. And nothing occurred on the earth that day. We were waiting, but something gigantic took place in my personal life. And 17 days later, there was a death in our immediate family, a death of the worst kind. And it was with the person that I was personally involved with in a very intense situation on August 12th. Nothing happened on the earth that day, but it was Sirius rising with double midpoints of 2 total solars and 2 total lunars. The nearest total solars and total lunars. Like I said, 88 days in both directions, total lunars, 251 days in both directions, total solars. December 4th, 2021, over to April, well, the one that's in iPet Goat, April 20th, 2023. It's 251 days in both directions. So something personal in my life, whether amazing or tragic, is going to happen, or the Trump event between now and then, or both. And I would assume when Trump goes down, my life is going to be turned upside down because of who I am and what I do. But that's neither here nor there. All right, I got to get going to my appointment. Love you. Fascinating stuff. This is fascinating.